On the busy roads of today, there are many things that you can run into. Old people, men carrying blow-up dolls, ice cream vans, and ducks. But nothing is as annoying as one of these. Look at this idiot. He's sleeping on the job while he festoons this lovely neighborhood with a self-righteous law machine as it penalizes passing motorists. And it only gets worse. Welcome everyone to the Guardian Angel, the Passport Max 2. This is a radar detector, and like many radar detectors on the market, it has the ability to detect Ka-band, X-band, POP, and even LiDAR.
Unfortunately, I don't understand any of that, but what I do understand is that this is one of the few radar detectors on the market that you can simply plug and play. You don't really need to fiddle around with it. It's like a butler. Just tell it what to do and it does it for you. No faffing about.
It's not the prettiest thing I've seen, if I'm honest. The front looks swollen, like a bee had stung it. But at least it's small and simple, which means it won't take up too much room on your dashboard, and this allows you to clearly see whatever it is that you're about to crash into.
When I was buying this at my local Best Buy, the salesperson actually asked me if these things actually work. Tell you what, let's find out. Well, there you are, Mr. Local Best Buy salesman. It works.
It's also very heavily shielded in order to protect it from unnecessary interference, which, experts say, reduces false alerts and increases accuracy.
As a result, this thing weighs quite a bit. You can even attach an angry note to this thing and hurl it towards your neighbor's window.
And thanks to its integrated GPS, it can even display your speed in kilometers an hour, or Roman Catholic. It's also very useful when you need some fancy lighting to host your own in-car rave party.
Or whatever it is the kids are calling it these days.
What sets this new Passport Max 2 particularly apart from its predecessor, the Passport Max, is that it has a joint strike force of the Defender database and Escort Live app.
Which means that there are other people's Passport Max 2 currently telling me that there are other radar nearby.
There are, however, a few problems.
For instance, I am not a big fan of this mount. It looks like the Max 2 is being held together by a bunch of toothpicks. Look at it! Look at the way it wobbles! It's terrible!
There is another problem as well. This radar detector is not very good against laser radar guns. Chances are, if you're getting hit with a radar gun that uses laser technology, or LiDAR, then it's already too late for you to do anything.
Unless, of course, your reaction time is faster than the speed of light. So, with my fists of ham and feet made of cheese, this feature is pretty useless to me.
But the biggest problem with this thing is not actually a problem for me at all.
You see, operating a radar detector is as legally questionable as hiring a prostitute. It's a matter of where you are and what you're doing.
In Canada, radar detectors are illegal everywhere but in the provinces of British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. In America, radar detector laws are a bit more lenient. If you're not operating one in a commercial vehicle, they are pretty much legal everywhere. But due to windshield obstruction laws in Minnesota and California, you might get a fat fine for mounting that radar detector on your windshield.
So, you might be wondering, should you own one if you're living in one of those areas where owning a radar detector is illegal? Well, that depends, because unlike its older brother, the Escort Redline, the Passport Max 2 does not have what you would call an anti-radar detector shielding protection. And somebody's gonna notice.
So, if you ever get pulled over by a policeman, you will be thrown into prison for 40 years.
But here, now, I can choose to gloss over all those nagging issues. Simply because when I'm driving along with a Max 2, it makes me feel a bit safer, a bit more confident, a bit more ahead of the game.
The Max 2 feels solid, sturdy, reliable, and given all the different types of radars it has to deal with, it really does feel like the jack of all trades.
And that is way better than being the master of